What is up, my friends? How's it going, everybody? I'm EnviroBoy. I'm sitting here playing SSX Tricky. I'm picking it up right where we left off on the last episode of SSX Tricky. Tricky. We got a race with Moby. But yeah, we're doing good here. We're sitting here. So, you know, the past few episodes of SSX Tricky, I've been recording while feeling marginally stressed about kitty health and all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, I'm feeling better now. It's only like 15-20 minutes after the last episode I recorded, but I'm already feeling better because I took those like 15-20 minutes and went and found the little tripod dude and got him a good meal, and boy oh boy, he snarfed that meal. And if there's not a good sign that a cat's doing well, it's, you know, if there's a sign that a cat's doing well, eating well is certainly up there as one of the better ones, because kitties are masters of hiding and refusing to eat when they don't feel great. So, you know, even with his little snuffles that he's got going on, his little sneeziness, wow, man, I'm struggling here. All right, I gotta stop getting so fancy with my tricks here. Gotta dial it in, gotta dial it in. Here we go. But yeah, the little man's doing great now. No, dang it, I keep accidentally having the forward and backward in there. I'm not meaning to. I need to just like do some regular, like some regular grabs and stuff and call it good and stop trying to spin. I'm too clumsy with it right now. Like if we just go ahead and wee-yoop, just do some of those. There we go. Great. Here we go. All right, I got brave, but it worked. It worked. But yeah, little man's doing great. He ate a great meal. It's really funny. He's always been a fairly picky eater, and he seemed to be getting more and more picky about eating. And we assumed it's because we you know, little guy, he's an old guy, and so he's kind of in like the super early stages of kidney disease. You know, it's a thing that happens to kitties, and so we're managing it how we need to. And part of that is we changed his diet to include food that, you know, is formulated to help with that and help slow down the progress of that disease. So, you know, we assumed that it was the diet change that was doing that to him. But the fact is, since he got his arm removed, since his arm fell off, what's wrong with it? The arm fell off. It's not supposed to fall off, but the arm fell off. No, like, because the reason, I'm sure I explained it on some episode or another. In fact, like, I don't remember. Oops, I'm sitting here falling over. Don't mind me. It was like the reason that it broke and we had to remove it is because he had a massive tumor on it. And so now we're sitting here thinking, like, man, maybe his pickiness was less to do with he didn't like the food and more to do with the fact that he just didn't feel great. He didn't feel great and didn't really want to eat a whole lot. Like, if you're Luther, buddy old pal. But yeah, like if you're sitting there growing a tumor, you're probably not feeling that great. So, you know, that's what we're starting to wonder, because now that even though he's only about a week post-op here, his appetite's better than it was before. Like, dude, it used to take like an hour to get a meal in him. He would be so fussy about it all, but we had to make sure he was eating, you know, because we saw him losing weight. But it's like, oh, he was probably losing weight because he was fighting cancer and he probably didn't want to eat them. Marisol, you gotta watch out for those poles, Marisol. They don't move. So it's on you to get out of the way. But yeah, like the little dude, you know, the irony of it is he's eating, you know, even with his little kitty sniffles that he's got going on right now, he's eating better than he used to. Like, it used to take an hour to get a full meal in him, and, you know, today he ate a full big meal, ate better than he does half the time, in like 15 minutes flat. So, like, we're sitting here thinking, like, man, I guess, you know, it's one of those, okay, you know, we're not going to mess around with it being weird about which direction we're going. I'm not playing that game. But yeah, and it's like, I don't feel guilty about it, because it's like, it would be so easy to be like, oh man, how did I miss those signs? But it's like, you know, how are you supposed to know? Because cats hide discomfort so well. He didn't otherwise act like he was uncomfortable. He just acted like he didn't really like the food all that much. So, but now that we kind of got it figured out, we're like, oh, all clicking into place. And, you know, and to play off of what I've been talking about in these episodes lately, you know, that to turn these things into positives, it's like, you know, yeah, like it's, despite all the stress, I can look at that and be like, you know what, I'm happy that he's doing that well, because that's a great thing. So yeah, all that to say, all those 5 minutes of me blabbering about that to say, like, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. I don't want to hear about their beef. I don't want to hear about their beef. I didn't try to shove anyone over. We collided, and that's how it happens. I don't want to hear about that beef. Beef is dumb. Almost any time people have beef with each other, it's dumb. Like, sometimes there's good reasons for people to have beef, but usually the nature of beef is that people get mad at each other over very little things. And then they don't know how to let that go. Like, that's 90% of beef. And so, I don't know. I was talking about that with some friends the other day at our kickboxing gym. Like, our gym, you know, we go out of our way to not have beef with people. We're just like, you know, we're all just here recreationally. You know, all of us coaches are volunteers. Memberships are strictly just to keep the doors open. We don't, you know, we don't pay coaches. We're here voluntarily because we just love the sport. There's no reason for us to beef, you know, as long as the doors are open and the bills are paid, there's no reason for us to get mad at other gyms and stuff for existing. But like within the world of martial arts, schools will beef with each other all the time. And we were talking about it. It's like there's almost never a good reason. Like, sometimes the beef might have good reason if someone starts it, you know. It's like if someone gets offended, sometimes there might be a good reason for it, but usually it's still stupid because the person who did the original offending did so because they are just like being dumb, usually like having a big ego of some sort. But like, the moral of the story is beef is almost always dumb, and almost always the reason that beef persists is because people can't just let things go. You know, not that you should always have to, you know, if someone continues to be a problem in your life, you always have to let it go, but you can't let them go and not have the beef perpetuate. Because that's the other thing about beef. Like, in order for beef to continue, both people usually have to continue to participate in it. Because if even just one person doesn't participate, if one person's like, nah, I'm done with this, then the beef kind of dies off. And it's like, you don't have to become friends all of a sudden or anything like that. But usually it means that the beef is just like, all right, yeah, no, we're not, there's no reason for us to sit here and continue worrying about this. So, I don't know, beef is dumb. Moral of the story, beef is dumb, but like, you know, interpersonal beef is dumb. Beef in terms of eating is delicious. Although I guess some people would claim that beef is dumb too. And you know what, fair cop, you can have that take. I'm not gonna, I don't ascribe to it myself, but if someone wants to be, you know, vegetarian, vegan for, you know, reasons that they think it's dumb to eat other animals, like, you know what, that's fine. I'll let you have that belief. I don't have to agree with it, but I can respect that it exists. It's not a hill, whoops, that I want to die on, that like, no, we have to. It's like, you can eat what you want and you can have your reasons for it, and I don't even have to find them to be bad ideas, even if I don't ascribe to them myself. I kind of take that, like, you know, the way I live my life, it's very helpful for me to have such a ready source of proteins and fats, you know, between beef and chicken and all that meat type stuff, you know, with the amount of fitness and athletics I do, it makes it a lot easier. I could go through the trouble to do stuff, but I'm actually kind of sitting here hanging out until we go full okay, yeah, I'm not doing this until we go like full lab meat, and then it's like, when we're at that point in time, like, I'm on board with it. It's kind of cost prohibitive for me to do that, and that's one of the reasons too for me, is like, where I live, depending on what type of meat we're talking about and what, you know, form I purchase it in, it's a very cost-effective way for me to get the number of calories that I need to sustain myself. So that's one of the big reasons why I continue with it. But I also try to, you know, reduce the amount, because I don't agree that, like, eating it altogether is dumb, but I do think the amount that a lot of people eat is dumb. I think a lot of people, I shouldn't say that, like, dumb is a harsh way to put it. Unnecessary. I do think it's unnecessary. And the amount of meat that people have. Like, not every meal needs to be a meat-based meal. My partner and I, between the two of us, we usually don't even need to purchase more than, say, like a pound or two of any sort of meat for a week, which is a lot less than most people do. A lot of people will buy like 2 pounds of meat per day for themselves and one other or something like that, because they'll insist on eating that much. And we're like, nah, we can reduce that and we can supplement with other, you know, healthier, not even healthier necessarily, I shouldn't say that, it depends on what your goals are, but other healthy period other healthy options. Like we have access to those, and so we like to use them, because the other thing about it too is it's kind of fun. It makes a certain challenge out of it to find ways, because I think cooking meat, like, and this is whoops, this is my hot take, and it's not even a hot take. I don't think anyone else, I don't think it's one of the takes that it's the type of thing that it's like I need to convince people to agree with this. I just find it's pretty easy to make meat taste good. Like, our brains are kind of hardwired to like that, you know, those flavors a little bit. People who have been vegetarian might disagree because their taste buds have adjusted, but generally speaking, meat tastes pretty good. Like, you add a little bit of salt, a little bit of seasoning and stuff like that, and I mean, with the combination of fats and proteins in it, it tastes pretty good. Meanwhile, a lot of veggies don't sort of inherently have a great taste. You have to kind of work at it. Case in point with that, and again, people will be like, no, I think veggies taste great. We all have our own tastes, but I grew up too. My parents are baby boomers. I like to think that they're some of the better ones that are more understanding of modern day lifestyles and progressions of the world and everything. But that's a different conversation. The fact is, my parents are boomers, and one of their most boomer traits, especially as Midwestern boomers, is we grew up with pretty much every vegetable being boiled in hot water and then given a salt shaker and said, make it good. And it almost never was. Like, veggies, you know, like, because, like, you can, you know, like, you can do, like, the meat version of that, where it's like you slap it on a pan or put it in a casserole dish and put it in the oven until it's cooked, slap some salt on it, and the flavor in a lot of ways kind of takes care of itself in that sense. I mean, like, once you've started to really learn how to flavor food, that will seem pretty bland and mundane, especially with, like, chicken or something. But generally speaking, like, a bland way to cook chicken will be more tasty than, say, a bland way to cook broccoli, right? Like, I think that's just my take on it. And so for me, I like almost the challenge of, like, okay, how do we use vegetables and legumes and all that kind of stuff? Like, how do we do that as a way to like, how do we make still a really good meal out of all of that? That tastes super good and that I really enjoy eating. You know, how do I do that? It adds a bit of a challenge to the cooking. You know, it's fun to try and figure that out. I don't know. Like I say, that's just my take. That's just like my opinion, man. But I don't know. I don't really know where this conversation came from or where I'm going with it. Moral of the story is food is yum, and eat what you like. Even that, though, that's not a universal thing. I know plenty of people who find food to be, like, bland and uninteresting. Like, I'm the kind of guy... Whoops! That's on me. That's on me. The pole doesn't move. Like I told Marisol, the pole doesn't move. It's on me to avoid that. But, like, I'm the kind of guy who food... I like food. It's why intermittent fasting works for me. That seems counterintuitive, but why it works for me is because I like food so much that eating, like, a normal amount for just lunch, like 3 meals a day, eating a small enough amount... that, you know, like, I am not overdoing my intake is hard for me, because I want to be able to have, like, eat until I am stuffed. Are we gonna do the thing? Oh, hey, look at that, Moby. You actually just handled it. Proud of you, buddy. Like, I like to just eat a whole lot, so it's actually easier for me, and it makes more sense for me to just not eat anything until 1 meal a day. And then I can just fit as much food as fits in my stomach, and it's fine. And I don't, you know, I don't balloon up to 8 million pounds. It's great. That's how I do it. But other people just, they don't really get into food like that. They don't enjoy food that way. And I don't, you know, I don't have a way to understand that on, like, a personal, intimate level. But on an intellectual level, I get that. So even though I say food is delicious and eat what you want, like, if it doesn't do it for you, then just, you know, make sure you have a healthy diet, so that way you are a healthy person. I don't know. There you go. That's that tangent. That's where that led. Whee! Oh, that was a pretty good run. 414. Good job, Moby. Look at that, though. Like, look how many great runs we've been having. All right. Boom, and boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now we'll move on. So yeah, save those attributes. And actually, with 15 minutes left, I'm going to go ahead and do the world circuit with another character. Because we already did the show off with Moby on the last one. So we're going to go to character setup here. And we want to go to... excuse me. I want to go to... whoever's next. It's Mac. I was going to say, I thought it might have been Kaori, but she's after Mac. Alright, Mac. Let's do this. Mac. Mac is the character that I really want to like because his style I dig, but his personality is so bland. It's like, okay. Like, I'm disappointed that he's not a more exciting character. I want him to be super amusing. I want him to have the style that he has with the personality of like Eddie or something. I feel like that'd be great. Excuse me, golly. I'm largely recovered from my cold. Like, I don't even know if I recorded anything that I really talked about it, because like I haven't hardly recorded since my vacation because what it was is while on vacation I got sick, and so then first getting home from vacation I was still kind of feeling a little bleh, and then also work got busy for me, so I didn't really record much then, and then and now here we are. I'm trying to catch up because I continue to miss stuff because then work was busy again, family life was busy, and then my cat's arm fell off, so I've just been so busy I didn't even have time to hardly record and talk about blab on and on about what's going on in my life. JP, uncool. JP, uncool. But yeah, like I caught a cold, and then that cold turned into a sinus infection for me, and I've been dealing with that, and I still have it's just the tiniest little bit, but I still have had a little bit of residual chest congestion from the cold or flu or whatever it was. It's hard to know what it was, but largely I'm better. But man, that was rough for me. And honestly, the harder one, even though like people would be surprised by it, considering how much by how hoarse I sounded when I had the chest cold part of it. The harder part for me was the I felt crummier during the sinus infection. Like, it's one thing when it's just like, yeah, I've got some chest congestion, my throat hurts, but I can just kind of sit here and, have some electrolytes to drink that'll kind of soothe my throat, have some tea or whatever, and soothe the throat and get through it. Like, that's not a big deal. I can handle that pretty well. For me, the harder part was the sinus infection, because sinus infections always give me, like, terrible migraines. And that was, like, the defining feature of the sinus infection this time around, is I just, okay, all right, okay, that was kind of the defining feature of this particular sinus infection. Is I ended up, like, the worst day of it, I had just the worst headache, and it kept getting worse all day long, and like it was like, I'm not afraid to admit that I was like crying. I was in such discomfort from that headache, that migraine. Like I was in tears laying there, and I went to bed at like 7 o'clock because I was like I took a swig of NyQuil to knock myself out. I didn't really even need it, but I took a swig of it to knock myself out, and I slept from like 9 p.m. all the way until like noon the next day. That's exaggerating a little bit, but not much. Like I was rough, and I needed to do that. And then the gross part was, like, a week later, I felt something rattling around in the sinus there. Like, my sinuses are so messed up, I could feel when there's, like, gook in them. And I thought I was good, but then suddenly I felt something rattling around, and, like, some sort of, like, final bit of loogie phlegm that was building up in there, even though I largely felt better, broke loose a couple days ago. And, oh boy, man, that was a palm full of disgusting right there. Our popping would have been, they probably would have liked that. They would have enjoyed that, even though it's kind of a loose fit there. It was one of those things. So, but yeah, that was, had that going for me. And that's why I'm like sitting here sounding like I occasionally have to like hawk up a loogie again. Cause I almost do. It's not quite a loogie, but it's like, my body is still producing a little bit of extra phlegm as we're finally on the tail end of it. But that's how you know how bad of a chest cold it was for me, because I'm like 3 weeks out from when it started. So like, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I'm telling you all the gross, disgusting things about it. Because, you know what? I know exactly why I'm doing it. We all treat health like such a private thing, and in many ways it can be. But at the same time, it's kind of the same as like with pay or something. I feel like the more we talk about our health issues and stuff like that, the more we can normalize the concept of like it being okay to have health issues and then ask for help when you have health issues. Like, I feel like a lot of people have stigmas about like going to the doctor when you're sick or something like that. And it's like, or just acknowledging when we're sick. Like I feel like our culture is so damaged from, you know, time periods of when it's like, no, you just work through being sick. You keep going to your job and all that kind of stuff. So like no one wants to admit when they're sick. But it's like, no, it's okay to be sick, and you should talk about that. Because like when it's just a cold, it's not like, oh man, we need to reduce the stigmas of having colds. Like, no, that's just what happens to people. It's fine. But like, it extends then if like our attitude towards being sick is keep it a secret, don't talk about it. And then it's like, oh, but now I'm going through like a horrible, like, you know, disease. Like my health is now like I'm in early stages of Alzheimer's or something. Whoops. All right, well, I guess we're getting beef with whoever that was. I didn't even see who it was. We hit him so fast. But it's like, you know, the more stigma we put on health, the harder it is for us to talk about actual things. Like if you have an actual chronic disease and like getting embarrassed about it, it's like you can't help if you get sick. That's it happens to us, you know. And it's like the more ready we are to talk about if we're having symptoms of something, the more ready we are to like recognize, oh wait, I've got an issue going on here and I need some help with it. So that's why I'm telling you all the disgusting things about my cold. Not because I'm self-centered and want to subject you to the same misery that I was in. No, it's I'm helping you. It's for your own good. I feel like it's more self-serving to try and find some reason to excuse being self-serving than it is to just admit that you're being self-serving. There's a weird irony behind it there. There's a weird irony, and I'm not using it on my socks. Ha ha ha! You see, because irony, it sounds like an iron. You know, like irony, like ironing. You know, like the board, like the ironing board. Snowboard, ironing board. There's a really clever joke in here somewhere playing a snowboarding game, but I'm not smart enough to find it. But I know it's there. I know it's there. Talk about running an ironing board, Mac. Yeah, see, that's not it. That's not it. It's in there somewhere though. I'll think about it in 7 minutes and blurt it out, and no one will understand what the heck I'm talking about anymore, because it was such a bad joke from the beginning that everyone's already moved on, and they're like, why is he still talking about this? Why can't he let it go? Let it go. It was a bad joke. You can't. They can't all be winners. It's okay. None of us are holding it against you. There's only like 2 people watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you're one of the 2 people watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want me to shut up about ironing boards. Whoops. Sorry, I guess we're not taking that shortcut today. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, dear. Okay, well. That's fine. All the way, Luther. Whoa! Wow, we all kind of threaded the needle on that one there, didn't we? See you guys. That was awesome. This game is great. What a great game. So glad I decided to play this game way back. I look back, it was like we started this in like November. I started this in like going into the holidays. This is why I started this game, because I was like, oh, this seems like a wintry game. and now it's the middle of summer. It's the middle of July. I guess this one's coming out closer to the end of July, but whoops. Oops. 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 Oops, this is fine. Everyone else is going to biff it on the light post, too. They always do. See? Oh, no, but I biffed it on the guy that biffed it. There we go. All of you biff it. Everyone biffing it. Everyone's biffing it. Everyone's all kinds of, like, you know, biff from Back to the Future. Call me an antagonist, because I'm biffing it. I'm really on it today, man. This is some of my best material. I hope you guys appreciate. Share with your friends if you think this is the best material you've ever heard. I'll be here as long as I feel like it. I'm recording these from home. Oh, stupid. Oh, okay, hey, that kind of ended up working out. Whee! Whoop. Take advantage of this. Whee! My gosh, there's so many spins. Oh! Ah, I thought I let go of it. I guess I was still holding the trigger down a little bit. That's the one problem with doing this on a modern controller. Like, because I used to play this always on the GameCube is what I played this on. And those triggers, the triggers on the GameCube controller are button presses. Like they don't have like graded pressure. It's just a button press. Wee, and wee, and then here we go, and boom. But yeah, it's like it's not graded, so it's like you're either pressing the button or you're not. But that's just not really how it works on the Xbox controller that I'm using. I just realized something. I have to pause for just a hot second. I'll be right back. You won't really notice anything except that it'll be a weird jump in the background there. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry, the screen is back to the title. We're not restarting the episode or anything. I needed to just the hot button presses. Sorry, what I realized is I got distracted cleaning litter boxes. But my cat, I mentioned that he ate that he ate a real good meal there. Sorry, I can keep this going. Am I not? Oh shoot, wait, hold on a second. It's gonna get weird. It's just easier. I don't like showing my big background, all that stuff, because I don't want you to judge me for like that the games I have saved on. It's all porn. It's so much porn. I'm just kidding. It's not so much porn. Can you imagine? Okay, so if we do that, and then if we go right there, maybe it is. See, now you don't know where I'm coming from. But what was I saying? I don't know. Whatever. We're playing again. I navigated all the pause. It's because of the hotkeys make it weird, and it like cuts out the like when I have to jump between the game and OBS while I'm recording. It cuts out and it creates just like a dead screen that sometimes will like show my background and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know. It feels weird to do that. It feels like pulling the curtain back. It's not a big deal, but it's like, I don't know, it's weird when it happens and all that kind of stuff, and I just prefer it to not be like that. I don't know, don't judge me. We all have weird things that we're embarrassed of. Some people are embarrassed of the shape of their toes or whatever. It's like, we're all weird, it's fine. Whoops. Did not mean to press the trigger on that one. What was I just talking about graded triggers versus like button press triggers? Whoops. All right, no, we're good. We're good. We can still get this one. But it might not be a record breaker, but we can still get a good run here. But what I was saying, the reason I had to pause is because I remembered, like, my kitty, he ate a really good meal, but I got distracted cleaning the litter boxes, and I realized I forgot to put his leftover food in the fridge, because there wasn't a ton left over, but there was a non-zero amount left over, and you know what? Money is tight for literally everyone except for all of the, like, ultra rich. So it's like, that's, you know, we'll save money in any way we can, especially when you've just had to pay for an amputation. That's not exactly a whoops. All right. It's getting okay. You know what? We're kind of stuck in a loop there. Let's just go ahead and get out of that little cycle there. But yeah, you know, it's like when we have to pay also for special kidney food diets, which, you know, like it's probably actually cheaper to make because it has less meat and they use more fillers in it. Like, that's what makes it good kidney food. Like, they put in fillers that, like, they're not bad for the cat, but you have to reduce their you have to still get them their nutrition while having fewer meat-based proteins, because those lead to phosphates, which are hard on the kidneys, and it can exacerbate kidney disease. So even though it's got more like filler, because it's a special formula, they use it as an excuse to charge you more. So it's expensive food. Moral of the story is we want to try and just like get every bit of it into him as we can, rather than letting it all. Whoops. All right. Okay. Mac, I need you to kind of get up here, man. Okay, I'm gonna be honest now. I'm starting to feel maybe a little nervous about our ability to get a first place here with Mac. We're missing all of our shortcut targets and all that kind of stuff, but I think we can still pull it off. But it's like, golly, man, we're not having a great run here. But yeah, so at any rate, I needed to put that in the fridge to save the little bit, because it's like we need to get no calories down the drain, no calories into the trash, only into the cat. Because also, like, he needs as much energy as he can while he's recovering from this. Because even though there's kind of a funny thing, we were trying to do the calculation. He kind of needs less food now. There's like he lost a half a pound at least, real quick and easy there, and he doesn't need to support those muscles and bones and everything like that. But he also, the flip side of it is he's going through a lot of recovery, and that takes a lot of energy. So he's we need to get every bit of energy in him that we can. And one of the best ways to do that. Don't waste food. Let the food go in his tum-tum, not in the trash. Wee. And then boom. Take our shortcut through here. This is a good bit of boost here. Wee, yoop. Grab a little bit of boost there, and then hiya. There we go. That's a great jump right there. That's perfect. And then I'm not even gonna do anything with that. We're just gonna go ahead and boom. I'm not doing anything at all. What do you mean I gotta do something new? What are you talking about, man? But yeah, so that's why I had to pause. Like I say, it just gets weird because the hotkeys make it jump between screens. That's like the other thing about it too, is it's like I try to keep the screen behind it like clear, but whoops, but sometimes I forget that I have like different tabs and stuff open. And it's like, just my luck, one of these days I'll have like been checking my bank account and then I'll accidentally alt tab it during recording or something, and everyone will see all my bank account information or something like that. So just try to stay in the habit of not showing anything with the game. Plus, it's for continuity, all right? It's called production quality, and I hope you guys appreciate the level that you get here. I can't even finish that sentence without laughing. There's no production quality. I'm just some dingaling with a microphone. You know, you could just buy microphones and talk into them. Like, there's not even a test you have to take to be allowed to do that. Like, with driving, you at least have to pass a test. All right, it is time to call it an episode there. Thank you so much for joining me. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Golly, we covered a lot of ground on this one in terms of random stuff. Words of advice. I don't know, words of advice. Talked a lot about food between cats and people. Manage a budget and eat the things you like. There you go. Those are both good pieces of advice. You get a 2 for today. Okay, anyway, love you. Bye.